All right, sorry for the delay. Here we go. Now everybody's ready. Okay, back to standard form. Again, standard form. All right, it is the form that is going to be written in the form ax plus by equals c. Now, generally what we say, there's a few rules. We say a, b, and c, all right, are integers, or we can just say no fractions are allowed. No fractions. Also, comma A, B, and C must be. Right. The other important fact is that A must be positive. And the third fact, hopefully ever walk up, I just want to write this here, is that A, B, and C must be relatively common. Right. Now, for those of you guys who forgot what relatively defined means, well, it just means that they can't have common factors. All right, I'll give you an example. I said, for example, 2x plus 4y equals b. That is not written in standard form because I can divide it by what? 2. All right, and x plus 2y equals 4. That would be standard form. All right, not the 2x plus 4y. All right. So again, these are little rules here. A, B, and C are integers, which basically just means you're not allowed to have fractions. A must be positive, and A, B, C must be positive. Right. So those are the rules. You want to keep that in mind. All right. So now we're going to knock out number 1. All right. Now, again, for question number 1, we are saying that this is written in the slope intercept. We're going to convert it over to standard. All right. So to convert it to standard form, the first thing is you're not allowed to have fractions. You're not allowed to have fractions. Now, those guys who have trouble with fractions, this is a good lesson because we can review fractions. So the question is, what do I need to multiply this equation by to get rid of both fractions? What do I have to multiply by? What are you thinking? That is right. You're multiplying by 10. Very good. The reason why you're multiplying by 10 is because that will be eliminated and the 5 will be eliminated. And some of you guys said it good. You're going to multiply through by the common denominator. All right, that will take care of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply by 10. So I'm going to raise the 10 here. All right. Now, basically, what that's supposed to symbolize is that you're going to distribute the 10 through all of them. Now, a lot of times what I tell kids is when you're first starting out, is just go ahead and put 10 next to each number. When you put 10 next to each number, that means you've distributed. Now, remember, I'm starting number 1. As soon as you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure, now's the time to speak up. Don't wait till I get to number 7 or something. All right, so what, Alden? Alden, you have to let me finish the problem. All right, that's what I think what I want to show you. You're smart enough to watch me convert this over to standard form. All right, the first thing I'm telling you is there's fractions, so I've got to eliminate the fraction. That's step number 1. All right, so now when I multiply these through by 10, I end up with 10y equals 7x plus 8. Some kids in last class had problems with the 8. How did I get 8? We did 10 divided by 5, multiply that by 4. All right, that's what you're doing. Jack, you good so far?
Yeah.
All right. Now, if you'll notice, standard form means the x and the y's are on the same side. So I need to move the 7x from the right side and throw it over to the left side. But when I move something, what do I have to do with the sign? Switch the sign. right? So the 7x will go and becomes what? That is correct. So I have negative 7x plus 10y equals 8. Right? All I did was I picked the 7x and moved it to the left. All right. Now we have a little issue here. And the reason why we have a little issue is because I said the x must be what? It must be positive. All right. So if the x is negative, that just means it's your cue to change all of the signs. All right. Now what that means is that you're really just going to distribute a negative 1. When we multiply through by negative 1, we get 7x minus 10y equals negative 8. Now this right here is the correct standard form. That's standard form. What?
I'm still that way.
What's 10 times 4? What?
You got things popping up on your screen.
It's to see the y intercept.
No, I would have said C is the y intercept.
But C is the 8.
A is 7, B is negative 10, C is negative 8.
And 8 is the y intercept.
You can say that until all you want. Right? But no, that's not true. If it was, I would have what? I would have told you. Right? I would have told you. I didn't. I even said A, B, and C are just integers. That's all they are. They mean nothing. If I was in charge of math, I wouldn't have made up a standard form. All right, but they made up a standard form. All right, these are the rules to write something in standard form. That's it. I see no value in it whatsoever. 0. Normally, I don't say that. All right, but this is just a form that's on exams sometimes. And when you get to advanced math, they don't use standard form because it's of no value. They use point slope form, or they use slope intercept form. You can look at it and say, what's the slope? What's the y-intercept? What's the point? This, I can't say what the slope is. I can't say what the y-intercept is. I can't say what the x-intercept is. I can say nothing about it. Other than that's the equation of that line. Right? Written in standard form. Okay, now I was fussing at kids last class because now I'm telling you, now you've done example 1. The next problem is exactly the same. It's even got the same denominators. You've got to try to tell me now, what should I multiply through to get rid of the fraction? We're going to multiply through by 10. All right, so again, everybody's going to put a bracket and put a 10. And now, when you distribute the 10, you get what? 10y equals negative 4x plus 3. All right, now if you're unsure about that, again, put the 10 right next to all the numbers. 10 times y is y. 10 divided by 5 times 2. There you have it, negative 4. 10 divided by 10 times 3. That's the best I can do, guys. Now, to write it in standard form, I need to pick up the negative 4x and move it to the other side. If I move to the other side, it becomes what? Positive. Thank you. So I end up with 4x plus 10y equals 3. That is standard form. Now remember, guys, some of you guys are doing a good job correcting me. All right, and I appreciate the try. But before you correct me, just double check yourself. Really, just double check yourself. Who said anything about moving the 10 y?
Like, oh, you're just kidding.
Right? All I did was I picked up the negative 4 and moved it over with the 10 y.
Yeah,
10 y did not move. All right, so now number 5. Bracket. A little bit different. Alden, how are you doing? What am I going to multiply this by? By 7. Good. That's exactly right. I'm going to multiply through by 7. So I put a 7 here, 7 here, 7 here.
Then they get 7y equals negative 3x minus 4.
Wow.
And then to like you do 3x minus 7y.
No. No.
So it's 3x plus 7y.
Yeah, just move the 3x over. Alden, do I change the sign for the y? No, because I didn't move the y. I just moved the x, right? All I did was move the x. Ryan, how you doing? Jack,
Why didn't we move the y instead?
because I want the x and y together.
They would have been together if we moved it to the left or right.
But then the 4 would be in the wrong spot. You always want the x and the y together.
No, that makes sense.
Okay. Number 7. Tell me. What am I going to multiply by?
6, 6.
Yes. Multiply through by 6. Come on now, I'll give you 30 seconds. If you can multiply through by 6. Well, not 30 to 10. All right, Jake, multiply by 6, what do you get? What? 6 what?
Oh, okay, 6y.
6y equals
Negative. Y. 1.
That's it. Hold up. No, not going any further with that. You didn't sound too confident on that. All right? Because, again, we're just distributing the 6. 6 times y is 6y. 6 times negative x, negative 6x. 6 divided by 6 times 1. Right? Most kids have trouble with fractions. That's why I don't mind doing this lesson, because it helps you get a better understanding of fractions. What?
I don't know why, I'm having an issue sometimes like going through it, but then I have that written down, but then when I go backwards and I have to say what I did.
Like, don't worry about it. I
got
need
that.
one bit. Not one bit. All right. No one, you're doing fine. All right. Now, I need to move what?
Negative 6x.
Right. So it's just the answer is what?
6x plus 6y.
Yes. That's it. Now take your highlighter and highlight number 9. Don't do number 9 right now. Do not do number 9 right now. Just highlight it. All right, we want to jump down to the next problem. All right. Okay, now we'll start by this. This one's one step harder. The reason it's one step harder is because we have to find the slope in order to write the equation of line. For those of you guys who did poorly on the last test, now's the time. We're redoing the last test. All right, those of you guys who made A's in last test, this is going to bore you because it's so easy. All right, this is the practice now. Come on. All right, pay attention now. I have to calculate the slope. So if I'm going to calculate the slope, I need everybody. M equals, if you forgot, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm not sure how you can forget it because we did it about 1,000 times. But that's the formula. So now we are going to calculate the slope. So the slope is equal to 4 minus 1 over 5 plus 3. 3 over 8. That is the slope. Anybody have any questions with the slope? Alden, Ryan, Jack, anybody? That's calculating the slope.
So we're doing this again on this test.
Now, I have a point and I have a what? Slope. We're going to use the point slope form. You want to write it in the point slope form. And if you forgot that, here it is. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That is the point slope form. That is point slope. Come on now, you can get this. Alden, are you here?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Y minus 1 equals 3/8 times x plus 3. Most of you guys did a good job on the test. That wasn't bad. What, Jack?
The answer piece attached to this.
What?
The answer piece is now.
Exactly. I wanted to have, so I want you to check your work. What?
I was just going to
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, from here, I need to convert it over to standard form. What's the problem? This divided by 8 is the problem. So how do I get rid of divided by 8? We're going to multiply. Now look, put a bracket, and put an 8. That means we're going to multiply both sides by 8. Now I'm going to put an 8 here. I'm going to put an 8 here. I'm going to put an 8 here. Now, if I multiply y minus 1 times 8, that becomes what? 8y minus 8 equals. Now, please, what happens to the divided by 8 and the times 8? They cancel out. So you're just left with that what? 3. And then what am I going to do to that 3 now? You're going to distribute. That's what that's called. You're going to distribute that 3. All right, when I distribute that 3, it becomes what? 3x plus 9. Now again, that's hard. That's complicated. All right, it's kind of easy if you understand fractions. It's kind of hard if you don't understand fractions. So I'm just going to summarize real quick. The denominator was 8, so I had to multiply both sides by 8. Multiplying the left side by 8 means 8 times y and 8 times 1. That's how I get the 8y minus 8. Now, please look here at the 3/8 times 8. Those 2 8s do what to each other? Cancel out. Those cancel out. And I'm left with a what? 3. Now distribute the 3. And what do I get? 3x plus 9. Any questions? Any questions? I want a question about the math. Right? Not about your liking it or not liking it. Or whining. don't care about any of that. Now I need to move the x and y together, and the numbers have to go on the other side. So now make yourself a note. I am going to take this 3x, and I'm going to move it over here. When I move it over there, it becomes what?
Negative 3x.
Negative 3x. Negative 3x plus 8y. Now I'm going to take the negative 8 and I'm going to move it over to the other side. And when I move it over to the other side, it becomes what? 17. Or 9 plus 8, which is 17. There you have it. We're almost done. Are we allowed to have x negative? Change all the signs. So that becomes 3x minus 8y equals negative 17. All right, that was hard. But not. Now look, on the next test, this is going to be a minor part. All right, minor part. And some of you guys were going a little crazy. You're not supposed to be able to do it the first time or the second time. That's why there's lots of examples. All right, lots of examples. I'm going to walk you through it again. All right, number 13. I have to find what first? What do I have to find?
Oh, yes.
You have to find the slope. Go to write the equation, you find the slope. Here we go. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 3 over negative 8. And again, I would just tell you to make that negative 3. That's the slope. Any issues with that? All right, now we have a what? Point and a what? Slope. So most people were able to do this on the test. So this shouldn't be an issue. Nothing new here. Well, we're learning nothing new so far. So let's write the equation. All right? So you can write the equation in 10 seconds. All right, here we go. Y plus 2 equals negative 3 8 x minus 2. All right. Like I said, most people can do that on the last test, so I don't think that's the problem. Anybody have any issues with that? Those guys who were over trouble last test, now's the time for you to ask me a question about that form. Alden, are you happy with that so far?
Yeah.
All right. It really is. All right. Now I'm going to standard form. So what do I have to eliminate? The 8, not the 3/8, just the what? Just the 8. So I'm going to put brackets around it. I'm going to say I'm going to multiply both sides by what? 8. All right. Now when you multiply the left side by 8, Oscar, what do you get? Wow, 8y plus 16. Beautiful. Now on the left side, or I'm sorry, on the right side, what happens to this divided by 8? It cancels with the what? Times 8. So that's out. So all I have to do now is distribute the what? Distribute the what? Negative 3. Distribute the negative 3. When I distribute the negative 3, I get negative 3x plus 6. What? What, Jack?
Nothing. Well,
Now, you gotta move the x and y together. So, what do I have to do with the minus 3x?
now, make it positive.
Right, so it's 3x plus 8y. What do I have to do with the 16? No. Yes. Because you're moving it from the left side to the what?
Equals
To the right side, so you have to
6 minus
subtract it. 6 minus 16, which is? 6 minus 16, which is? Negative 10. We're good with that. Well, I'm not arguing with you guys. I know that's kind of a line. All right, that's why I said it's a minor part of the next step. All right, minor part. All right, I'll review for you on Wednesday and see exactly how much you do have to know. All right. Now, I would like someone for number 15. All right. I want everyone. Actually, let's calculate the slope. You got 30 seconds. Calculate the slope. Go. Come on, Jack. Calculate the slope. It should take you less than 30 seconds. All right. Then you can see where you're at. That's why I keep trying to tell everybody. You are judging yourself right now. If you can find the slope, then we'll check by that. Here we go. The slope. Zero plus 2 over 7 minus 0. Slope is
7.
7. That is correct. What? That would make me wrong. But we know that never happened. 0 minus negative 2. What? All right, write the equation. Go.
Y plus 2.
Y plus 2 equals.
Negative, or 2 over 7.
Yes. And I like the x minus 0. And eventually you'll say, well, I don't have to keep the x minus 0. But we do it just so you know, same consistency purposes. All right, that's all. All right. Now we're doing the new lesson. We're converting to standard form. So I need to multiply everything through by what? Let's multiply everything through by 7. So on the left side it becomes 7y plus 14. What happens to the times 7 divided by 7? They cancel. So all I'm doing is distributing it 2. That just is what? 2x. That's it. Come on, that's not hard. Not difficult. Now we need to put the x and y together. So my x now look right here, guys. Some of you guys are really smart. I want to kind of share something. Please look up. You understand, I want the x to be positive, correct? So if I move the x, it's going to be what? And then I'm going to have to do what? Switch the sign. So to me, it was easier. Come on now. Eyes up on the board so I can show you something. Or a little bit different. Come on, everybody. Look up, look up, look up. Now I'm just trying to teach you to be smarter with your math. That's all. You don't have to follow an algorithm step by step by step. Here's what you're thinking. I want the x to be positive, so I leave the x alone. All I have to do is move the what? Move this over here. What does that become? Yes. Now is that in standard form? Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I still have to rewrite it as 2x minus 7y equals 14. Hopefully you paid attention to what I was just saying right there. That's going to be very helpful. All right. If to me the x is negative, I move that. All right. If the x is positive, I try to keep x by itself. All right. Keep it positive. All right. Let's do one more. Let's do 17. Come on now. Do 10 seconds to find the slope. Go. Again, you're grading yourself. Did I get the slope right? All right, time's up.
Oh,
M equals 1 minus 0 over 4 minus 1. M equals 1/3. You got that? Check yourself. 10 seconds, write the equation. Go. Okay, the equation y minus 0 equals 1/3 x minus 1. Yes, feels good, doesn't it? Well, paying attention constantly does. No whining, just concentrating. Step 2, we're good. Now, do I really need the y minus 0? But I do know I need to multiply both sides by what? 3. So I'm going to put a bracket, multiply by 3. When I multiply the left side by 3, that becomes 3y. What happens to the 3 and the 1/3? What happens to the 3 and the 1/3? They do what to each other?
Oh, they cancel.
Yeah, just cancel. So it's just 3y equals x minus 1. All right, everybody put that down, and I'm going to show you the advanced technique. Look up, look up, look up. For those of you guys who are smart and brilliant. Come on, look up. Look up, look up, look up. Come on, Alden. Now's the time I'm asking you to pay attention. All right, I don't want you to miss this step. I'm trying to show you how it's simple, simple, simple. I always try to tell kids, please don't make x negative, because then you have a bunch of signs to change. All right, so everybody's looking up. I can tell. All right, I'm going to watch. Watch what I'm doing. If I were to pick this x and move it, it would become what? I don't want the x negative. Right, so I don't like that step. So now stop writing and look up and make sure you're watching me. I want to move the 3y over here. When I move it over there, it becomes what? Negative. So I put a negative here. Did I move the x? No. So the x stays. Now, is the -1 in the right spot? No, it's got to be away from the x and y. So I pick up the -1 and I throw it over here. And when I move it, that becomes a what? Look, I just think everybody should be able to do that. So 1 equals x minus 3y. 1 equals x minus 3y. Now, of course, that's not exactly correct, because we want to write it as x minus 3y equals 1. That avoids a lot of mistakes that are made with what? What is that avoiding? That is avoiding all of the negatives. We don't like negatives, because that's where most of the mistakes are made. All right? Anybody have an issue with that? All right, I'm pretty happy. All right? Now what I want you to do is take your highlighter and highlight number 19. We're going to highlight 19. All right, now I'm on 21. All right, Jack, let's see if you've been listening. I want you to write the equation for number 21. Go. You already have the slope.
oh, okay.
So this problem is actually easier than the one before this. So what do I have, Jack?
Y minus 3 is equal to 3 over 1 in parentheses x minus 2.
Well, really, I don't need the 3 over 1, but that's not a problem. You hear me? Look at that. Jack, feels good, doesn't it? Easy. Now, do I have a fraction here?
Yeah, 3 over 1.
No, there is no fraction. You created the fraction. I don't want the 3 over 1, but normally, Jack, you are right. It is 3 over 1. That's how we look at slope. But I don't want to. I'm not looking at the slope. I'm interested in the equation of the line.
No, there is no fraction. So
Right. So all I have to do now is to do what with that 3? Distribute it. Thank you. Just distribute the 3. Come on, guys, now. Y minus 3 equals 3x minus 6. All right, now what I'm going to do is blow this up. I know some of you. Hold up a second. Hold up. That is correct. Please listen to what I'm telling you. I don't want x to be negative. So should the x stay here? Yes, the x should stay there because the x is already what? Positive. The x is already positive. So I'm going to take the y value and I'm going to move it over here. When I move it over, it becomes what? When I move the y, it becomes what? Negative. It's already with the right x, so that's 3x. Do I have any issue with that so far? Now I have to get rid of the minus 6. So I take the minus 6 and I throw it over here, and it becomes a what? Plus 6. So what is 6 minus 3? 3. That's what I'm hoping you can see. And then we write that as what? 3x minus y. 3x minus y. Anybody? Have a problem? Anybody have a problem there? All right, I'm happy with you guys. All right, let's go. Now, drag that. Now, everybody, go. Number 23. Let's go, chop, chop. 30 seconds. Write it in the right form. Let's go. Come on, Alden. All right. The equation is y minus 3 equals negative 4 times x minus 0. Write yourself on the back if you did that. Any issue? What's an issue?
X is negative.
Well, I haven't distributed yet.
We need to do this.
So y minus 3 equals negative 4x. So now do I move the x this time?
Yes.
Yes, because the x is
Negative.
negative. So I pick up the x and I throw it on the other side. It becomes what? It becomes positive.
4.
And I have to move the negative 3 from the left side to the what?
Right.
So it becomes 3. Yeah, guys, I really don't think it's that hard. Right, Jack, do you agree now? But it takes a process. I understand that. All right, you got to think it through a little bit. All right? Are you guys telling me I don't have much time left?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. Your homework. 5 problems. 25, 27, 29, 19, and 9. Then tomorrow,
Can you say that again?
I'm going to do what? I'm going to do the evens. Now, what about once you do with the answers? Check them. I don't want to come in here and do those tomorrow. I want you to say, yes, I know what I'm doing. If you know what you're doing, then tomorrow's going to be a what? It's going to be a breeze right through the problem. All right? And then Wednesday, we'll start our review. And then on Friday, some of you will make your first A. All right? If you work hard this week. Yeah, feels good, too. All right? So good job today, guys. Feel I'm happy with that lesson today. Those guys are struggling. Practice, practice, practice. All right, my homeschool teams. You guys have a great day.
Bye. Have a good
Okay,
day.
bye, Mr. Stroud. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Out of trouble now.